Output from Eurozone factories in September fell by the largest amount since January 2009, according to CNBC. Industrial production within the Eurozone fell 2.5% in September, worse than expectations of 1.9%. The data adds to the belief that the European economy will contract by at least 4% by year end, clearly signifying a recession. Asian markets were mixed on Wednesday, while European markets are mostly down. The Dow fell 58 points on Tuesday to close at 12,756. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that President Obama will begin negotiations regarding the fiscal cliff by demanding $1.6 trillion in additional tax revenue. This is double the amount of $800 billion he previously agreed to with Republican leaders. Obama is ready to let the Bush-era tax cuts end for households with $200,000 of annual income, $250,000 for a couple. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid reiterated the president's position. Obama is expected to hold a news conference to state his positions. Clearly, any hope for compromise seems slim. Protesters in Portugal and Spain coordinated riots against austerity today, with millions of workers protesting spending cuts that they believe have made the economy worse. Reuters reports that hundreds of flights have been canceled. Factories and ports are at a standstill, and trains are barely running in Spain and Portugal. In Rome, students pelted police with rocks. In Belgium, Greece, Italy, and France, rail services were disrupted due to planned work stoppages. All of the protests are part of European Day of Action and Solidarity. More protests are planned for this evening. According to CNBC, Samsung sold more smartphones in the third quarter of 2012 than Apple, as consumers postponed purchases in anticipation for the iPhone 5. A Gartner research report indicates that smartphone sales surged 46.9% to 169.2 units compared to a year ago. The Samsung Galaxy phone commanded 32.5% of all sales. Apple sold 14% of smartphones. Together, the two competitors controlled almost half of all smartphone sales. Apple is expected to dominate fourth quarter sales due to the iPhone 5 rollout. Some big American companies will lay off workers and pay lower dividends if Congress and Obama cannot avoid the fiscal cliff, according to the Wall Street Journal. A number of businesses, including defense contractors and hospitals, will be directly affected by the $600 billion in government cuts. Military gear companies such as United Technologies and Oshkosh Corporation have already been cutting jobs due to anticipated cuts in defense spending. Lockheed Martin, the world's biggest defense contractor, will be forced to dismiss 10,000 employees due to the fiscal cliff. Vice Chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve, Janet Yellen, has become the most senior official to endorse the threshold strategy for low interest rates and is suggesting that the Fed is moving closer to the adoption of this strategy. According to the Financial Times, a threshold strategy would tie interest rates to an economic condition, such as unemployment rates falling below 7%. The policy could put in place as early as December. She did not indicate whether the rate would be tied to unemployment, inflation, or any other economic conditions. The AAA predicts that slightly more Americans will hit the road this Thanksgiving than last, especially those who are driving rather than flying due to tight household budgets. The Associated Press indicates that AAA believes 43.6 million Americans will travel at least 50 miles from home, up just 0.7% from 2011. Travel grew 8% and 6% respectively over the last two Thanksgiving holidays. But AAA says it will take a stronger economy to spur a significant jump in the future. This year's travel is still 26% below the peak of 2005 and 14% below 2007. Only 3.14 million will fly this holiday compared to 3.2 million last year. French actor Gerard Depardieu has purchased a mansion in Belgium just 1 mile away from the French border to avoid the French tax rate. According to CNBC, the actor is one of a number of wealthy French who have left the country to avoid the new 75% tax rate on those with an income over 1 million euros, 1.27 million. Belgium's tax rate is 50% for households with over 35,000 euros of annual income. My goodness. Christie's auctioned off the Archduke Joseph diamond on Tuesday night and received $21.5 million, according to USA Today. That sets a world record price per carat. The diamond is 76 .02 carats and has perfect cut and clarity. The buyer wishes to remain anonymous but will place the diamond in a museum. The diamond was named for Archduke Joseph August of Austria, the great-grandson of Holy Roman Empire and French king. The diamond passed it on to his son, who put it in the bank vault. An anonymous buyer kept it safe during World War II, and then it reappeared at a London auction in 1961. That buyer sold it at the auction in 1993 for $6.5 million. But not all of the diamonds put up for auction sold last night because they were under the minimum bid price. The auction is being held at 5 hotels in Geneva. Reporting from Millionaire Corner, I'm Heather Kiley. Thanks for watching.